Alright everyone, so if you don't remember, even though you really should because the controversy has been happening for a couple of days now and it's probably not going to stop, but the whole thing at the end of this past Monday night episode of Raw where Paige and Charlotte had their contract signing for their match at Survivor Series for the Divas Championship, Paige mentioned Charlotte's brother who passed away because he OD'd. There's this whole controversy behind it. People are calling it distasteful, which WWE has done that before. It's not like this is new to them, some of this controversy and being called distasteful and whatnot, but WWE decided to address this controversial ending that happened at the end of Raw with Paige and Charlotte. And they say, I quote, "Subject matter this personal is only approved as a result of the strong advocacy of the talent themselves. Notwithstanding that, WWE is ultimately responsible for what it airs in its programming." So what they're basically saying is that this wouldn't have happened if they didn't have Charlotte's blessing to call it out and to bring it up in the angle. And this is why I said yesterday that there is a rumor by Uproxx. They state that a source says that it was Charlotte's idea to bring up her brother in the promo to make it feel more real. But on the other side of that, WWE also states that even if it was Charlotte's idea, they're the ones who put it up in the air. So they could have put it last minute if they wanted to, but they didn't pull it. So they're basically saying, we're sorry that you think this is distasteful or you're hurt by it and whatnot. We wouldn't have done it if we didn't have Charlotte's permission, but we are sorry. They're basically saying sorry if you are feeling hurtful about it. And because it is really controversial, and I think this is a perfect statement to be able to put it out there. Hopefully they talk to Ric Flair and be like, yo, Rick, we're sorry if you didn't see that coming. We should have caught earlier and whatnot. They're just going to forget about it in the next couple months anyways. Next up, we have backstage heat on Lana. Apparently, if you haven't been keeping up with Twitter, there was this Twitter exchange between Lana and Paige on Tuesday, and WWE is reportedly unhappy with Lana, especially since the news of her engagement to Rusev was posted on TMZ's website, and how it really messed up a lot of the storylines and how they had to drop the whole Summer Rae, Dolph Ziggler, Lana, Rusev storyline because of what had happened. And the WWE.com staff were told to report about the Twitter exchange as if it were part of a storyline. I think they really want something with Lana, but they don't want to mess it up, and they're trying to make everything become like this whole Lana return because she is practicing. She's practicing in the Performance Center. She's gonna actually wrestle when she comes back, I assume. So hopefully it all works out because I like Lana as a manager, as a personality, and hopefully she's a really good wrestler as well. I have yet to see anything of her, but we'll see how it comes out next time. Next up, we have update on The Rock's status for WrestleMania 32. Now, before it was reported that The Rock wouldn't be able to wrestle at WrestleMania 32 due to filming, and the insurance company doesn't really want him to wrestle and to be in WrestleMania 32 on that day because they don't want him to get injured. You really never know in wrestling, right? Even though that happened, it was stated that he could possibly still appear at WrestleMania 32 even if it was just an appearance and not actually wrestling. But now, due to this interview with The Rock, he said that it's doubtful that he'll be able to appear on the show. He wasn't going to wrestle before, and now he probably won't even appear at WrestleMania 32 because the movie will be filming during WrestleMania weekend, and it'll just be really difficult to try to match up the schedule and try to, get on a plane, fly over there, fly back in time. It'll be really too difficult, and why do the hassle? Why even try if it's not at all possible? Understandable. Sucks that The Rock won't be able to be there. He's been there at WrestleManias ever since 27. Really wish he would have came to the one in Dallas. That would have been awesome. Next up, we have two other ex-TNA wrestlers are spotted backstage at NXT. As it was reported earlier, former TNA wrestler Austin Aries, I never know how to say that name, was spotted at Full Sail University for tonight's NXT tapings. And now the reports are stating that James Storm, who we've seen already debut in NXT but has yet to sign a contract with NXT, will be backstage along with Gunner, all TNA wrestlers or ex-TNA wrestlers. So I guess since TNA is really going nowhere now, all the TNA wrestlers are jumping ship to NXT, Performance Center, whatever they can with the WWE, which is understandable. Why wouldn't you? They're the pros, WWE. TNA's really quickly went on a downhill, but this is awesome because I think a lot of these wrestlers that are ex-TNA wrestlers are going to help out a lot of the newbies that start off in NXT, or even some of them might be some of the newbies, who knows. And lastly, WWE Diva taking time off, specifically Becky Lynch. After working the entire WWE European tour, Lynch will be taking some time off from life on the road. Becky Lynch has already returned to her hometown of Dublin, Ireland, and would not be on this next week's episode of Raw and SmackDown. She is expected, though, to return to action by the end of the year. Understandable, everybody gets their own time off, and she was already over there anyways. Why wait until she was back in the States to take the time off? So, makes sense. Plus, they're doing this whole Paige and Charlotte thing, and really, Becky Lynch being there wouldn't add a whole lot. She'd just be getting in the way. Even though I really like Becky Lynch as a wrestler and as a personality, I wish she would be given more time to perform and do whatever makes her awesome, especially with her steampunk look.